this demo class. So the topic which I'm going to complete today is Introduction to Regulatory Affairs. So introduction is like, this is a basic thing where you should know what is regulatory affairs. Most of the people, I think all over India are not so much aware about regulatory affairs. There are many departments like QA, RA, production, QC. We are aware of these departments, but I don't think regulatory affairs is so much into focus. So to begin with, let's see which are the topics I'm going to complete today. So that is, what is regulatory affairs? Why regulatory affairs is required, and how RA department works with an example. So these are the basic things we are going to see today. So any one of you can tell me what is regulatory affairs. If you all have any idea about regulatory affairs, I'm sure you all must be from pharma background only. So anyone? Hello, hope you all can hear me. Anyone can answer me what is regulatory affairs? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Myself, Pamitapam Kharchi. Regulatory affairs is basically is deals with the pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and within the regulated industry. So, regulatory affairs professional works in that regulatory department to get the approval of the drug, basically to for the protect the healthcare, and to get the approval against in between the company. Along with that, also he did the negotiation actually for getting the approval between the company along with the government, basically for FDA or Indian CDSU. So
Yes.
this is called actually.
Okay, you are on the right path, but I would like to brief you more about this.
Okay.
So it is regulatory affairs is, as a name suggests itself, something which is related to regulations. We have regulations of different things. Like, can you relate something regulatory regulations? You can you relate it with some profession? In simple
The
layman term,
law
I don't
is
know actually. Layman language, you can tell me. Imagine you are not a pharmaceutical background, but you tell me what is regulation related to any profession you can suggest me. Anyone? Regulations
there
are
is
related to any form.
certain kind of protocol actually that has to be laid down and has to be followed. Regulation. A telecom industry is there in telecom regulatory.
Yes. So
Right.
I'm just taking a
Telecom
simple
regulatory also
thing.
there.
See,
Yeah.
hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Hello. Yeah.
you have regulatory. Each country have some different regulations. Is there?
Yes.
Like US, you have FDA regulations, and Europe, you have MHRA, and Canada is some different. They have own regulations, and Australia, that is
Yes.
TC is there. They have to regulate some regulations. Who are working on regulate? They know what is the regulator of a particular country. Is the
Yes.
only person direct contact person for regulatory. They will handle
Okay.
queries. They
Okay.
will
Okay.
they will do some write ups based on the
Okay. Okay.
regulatory requirements.
Okay. See, you all have a pharmaceutical background, so I know that you all must be knowing about many things. But as a layman person, if you ask me what is regulatory affairs, so I would take a simple example of a scenario that is a court scenario. What is in simple language? I want to explain to you what is it. Say, for example, this one is an applicant. Consider him as a pharmaceutical company. Okay, and we have a lawyer who is a RA professional. And the third person in the picture is your judge, that is your regulatory affairs. So this is what is regulatory affairs to sum up in simple language. Okay. So if I want to market a product into, say for example, in a European market, I would go to a RA professional who knows more about how I'm going to market that product in Europe. So consider RA professional as your lawyer. He will gather all the requirements and give it to the judge, that is your regulatory authority. And the regulatory authorities are the one who will give us grant to place your product or sell your product in that particular market. Okay, so this is a simple layman language. I would simplify this more. That is a pharmaceutical industry. Example, you can say Cipla, Indoco, Teva, whoever. So these companies will go to RA professional or they have their own RA professional. They will tell that I want to sell a product in say Portugal. What are your requirements? What do you require? So all the data, all the requirements are given by the RA professional to the applicant, and the RA professional will prepare what is called as a dossier. And that dossier is then submitted to a judge, that is a regulatory authority, and they will grant us the permission to market a product into the market. Okay, so this is a simplified
Okay.
way to explain regulatory affairs. Then let's move on to the details of it. So we have regulatory affairs is basically a link between the pharmaceutical company and a regulatory authority. Okay, we have a pharmaceutical company which has different departments. We have QA, QC, production, EHS, engineering, so many people are there. And we have the authority. So in between, RA comes into contact with these departments. So when we go to, when you all will go to the pharmaceutical industry, you all will come into contact with all these departments. The major department will be production, will be QC. So you have to work with them. So just to get the documents, just whatever, depending on whatever the requirements of the industry of the particular market, you have to get the documents and you have to work between the pharmaceutical industry and the regulatory authority. Okay, so it's a link between a pharmaceutical industry and authority. We are the lawyers who have to file that dossier to the authority. RA is responsible for registration of drug products. So that is our main work, to register a product into a market, responsible for knowing the requirements for obtaining the drug approval. We should know what are our guidelines, what are the requirements of a particular market. Say, for example, US, UK, Europe, Canada, any country, any continent, you should know the guidelines and you should get the approval of the product. So now, how does our work actually begins? We are involved starting from the new submission till the post approval activity as well. We are till the entire life cycle of that product goes in our hand. Okay, so what it has, there are actually two parts. One is the new submission and then post approval activities. Okay, so we'll go into detail about this. So I'm just giving you, you should know what are the different work actually RA does. Okay, so we are involved right from the starting of the when any new entity is produced till the end of the life cycle of that product. Okay, now why do you think regulatory affairs is required? Why? Anyone can tell me why? We have regulations. I told you so many things. If you have understood the concept, why do you think we require regulatory affairs? Anyone?
Without regulation, we cannot register the product in the specific countries, respective countries. That's why it's required, because pharmaceutical
Yes,
comes into
correct.
the regulatory market.
Yes, very good. Anyone else? Any other reason? Any other reason besides regulations? Okay, let's go. Why do we require regulatory affairs? One is drug development and commercialization. That is one reason. We sell the medicine to get money. That is a natural reason. Any pharmaceutical company would sell their products in US market, UK market to make money. That is another reason you can say. Other reason, to obtain regulatory requirements for registration of the product. That is another reason why we require regulatory affairs. Main and foremost important vital thing is protection and safety of human health. If we do not go as per the regulations, then get we cannot guarantee the protection or the safety of a human health if the medicines is ultimately consumed by the consumers. So if it is not safe, if it is not up to the quality, it is of no use. So ultimately the safety is very important, and the quality, safety and efficacy of that product. If you are making any medicine, if it is not so effective, if it is not so safe, what is the use of making that medicine? And what is the use of protecting human, saying we are protecting your human and say safeguarding the human health? So it is like these are the most important reason, that is your protection and safety of human health and the quality, safety and efficacy of that product, that we have to look out for first. That's the first foremost thing. Whatever we are registering in a particular market, if that particular the medicine is effective or not, if it is going to safeguard the life of human being or if it's going to protect their life, that is main important thing. Then comes your registration, and the last reason would be your development, and commercialization. So these are the reasons why we actually require regulations. Okay. So in all, it's like regulatory affairs is linked to entire departments, all the different departments. See, we are even linked to preclinical, we are linked to safe drug safety department, we are linked to finance, we are linked to HR, we are linked to project management, government officials also we are linked to get a local licenses. We are linked to manufacturing and all the other departments of pharmaceutical industry. So we come in contact with all the department. That is to sum up, and this is like the introduction to regulatory affairs. So now we'll move on to take an example. You all must now by now you all must have simplify. I have simplified the topic, so you must have understood what is regulatory affairs and how we are linked to what our works. What are we responsible for? So now let's move on to regulations and understand how RA department works. How are we actually working? Okay. So we have health authorities. I have been saying judge, health authorities, health authorities. So these are the different health authorities. We have Infam for Portugal. We have Anvisa for Brazil. We have MHRA. Can anyone tell me MHRA is for which country?
UK.
Yes, very good. Any
You.
idea about
Europe.
Brexit? Anyone knows what is Brexit besides this? Why only UK? We have MHRA. Any idea about what is called as Brexit? I think anyone experienced in pharmaceutical industry, who must be knowing what is Brexit. Okay, then fine. Brexit is when the UK got separated from the European continent. Okay, they actually separated their section and they consider UK has the health authority as MHRA and Europe has some other authority. Okay, so that is separation of that is called as a Brexit. So then we have US FDA. We have TGA for Australia, we have Canada, Health Canada for Canada. So there are many health authorities. Okay, so it's not only particular this, but most famous ones are these like Australia, then MHRA, US FDA, Health Canada, Informed. So after knowing this, let's see, take an example of Europe. So European Medicinal Agency is the health authority for Europe. Anyone knows, just a general knowledge, uh, how many countries does the Europe has right now after separating from UK? Anyone? Okay. So it has 27 countries now. It was previously 28, including UK. So UK got separated in 2021 February. So at that time, it has become 27 and UK has a separate authority that is MHRA and Europe has a separate authority as European Medicinal Agency. Okay. Okay. Another question, generic products. Any idea why do we call it as generic products? Or what is a term? What is generic? What is the meaning of generic? We have generic pharmacies also now. Can anyone tell?
That makes exactly like the innovator in dosage and all of that,
Yeah.
specifications. So it mimics the actually innovator drug. That's why called generic.
Okay. Anyone else?
Like initially, once the innovator got approved for the medicinal product, after
Yes.
the generally post after innovator, they have around 20 years of validity. Post
Okay.
after that, then they will give permission for they will grant permission for as a then it will convert into generic applications
Okay.
so that
Very good.
other so that other the companies can be market by based on performing the BAB studies so that they can do marketing as well.
Yes. Yes. Very good. So it is like what we have when we have a new entity. Okay. Any new molecule when it is produced. It is innovator. Okay. That innovator, that pharmaceutical company will first market their product for exclusive right of 10 years. It was previously 20 years, but now they have reduced it to 10 years, okay? So it is like 10 years. So that particular applicant can market the product anyhow, much, however profit they can make for those 10 years. Once it is done, other pharmaceutical industries, they are ready with and everything. They are ready with their dossier. Okay. And once those 10 years are gone, that exclusive rights is gone, they start selling the product by just changing the formulation, changing the strength, changing the dosage form, and they produce their own products. So that time it becomes a generic product. Okay. So taking an example of paracetamol. I'm just taking an example, okay? Paracetamol, when it was first invented, so that particular company must have taken the rights, enjoyed the rights of say 20 years at that time. And after that is what is basically called as patent, okay? That's a patent right. They have a right to market their product. No one else can market that product until and unless they have the right, okay? Once that term is gone, the other pharmaceutical companies are ready to sell their product. So they have the dossier ready. They have their own formulation. Okay. So say for example, paracetamol, when Dolo has 650 mg, Crocin has 500 mg. So these are the generic products. So it's a difference in the strength. Okay. So some other company is selling Crocin, some other company is selling Dolo, some other company must be something else. So this is how it becomes generic. So it is a new entity which then later on becomes a generic product. So is it clear to you? Any misunderstanding or any misconception?
Clear.
This is clear, right? So that is what is generic product in Europe. So now let's take this example and let's see how we are going to sell our product, the X product we are going to sell into Europe. So before that, you should know some basic terms to know how to sell the product in European market. That is marketing authorization. In Europe, what they call it as marketing authorization. If you have marketing authorization in Europe, you can sell your product. Okay. Marketing authorization means you have a permission to place the product into the market. You can sell the product into the market. That is the term which is used in Europe. Okay, and the person who holds it is called as marketing authorization holder. So there are different procedures through which it's a route through which you can sell your product in European market. Okay, we have centralized procedure. Now this procedure is basically used for orphan drugs. Now what are orphan drugs? Anyone can tell? Okay, it's a difficult term. Often drugs are the drugs which are used for rare diseases like cancer, AIDS, or something which has been innovated recently. So all those orphan drugs, they come, we sell those products mostly in European market through this centralized procedure. Now in centralized procedure, you can, once you get a permission, you can sell the product anywhere in Europe. Any country of all those 27 countries, you can sell the product there. Okay, that is your centralized procedure. Second one is decentralized procedure. Now, here you have to understand what is decentralized. Since it is centralized, you can sell your product everywhere. If it is decentralized, you cannot sell your product everywhere. So you need some things, okay? So one concept you should understand, what is RMS and what is CMS. RMS means reference member state and CMS means concerned member state. So for decentralized procedure, we have to select what is called as RMS. Now, RMS is basically responsible for preparing the entire draft report to be given to the other countries that we call them as CMSs. Now, what does the RMS do? They take the dossier from the applicant or from the regulatory professional. That dossier is assessed by RMS, that is your reference member state, and they prepare a draft report. Okay. Now, before preparing a draft report, what they do is they give the dossier to those selected CMSs, and they take the comments from them. It's a huge procedure. I'm making it in a simple terms. Okay, they take the comments from CMSs and they prepare a final draft. Once the final draft is produced, they say that we are granting you the permission to sell the product. Okay, this is what is decentralized procedure where RMS and CMS countries are involved. Next is your mutual recognition procedure. Now this is basically, it's the same thing. Here also RMS, CMS are involved, but the mutual recognition procedure involves what is called as national procedure. So we have this four procedures. So we'll go step by step. When I'm selling a product in in European market in only one particular country, say for example, Portugal. So if I have authorization in only one country, it is a national procedure. That national procedure can become mutual recognition procedure when I make my Portugal, my RMS country, consider Portugal as RMS country where I already have a national authorization. I give the same assessment report of Portugal to other selected CMSs, take the comments from them, and it becomes mutual recognition procedure. But how does it differ from decentralized procedure and mutual recognition procedure is like you already have marketing authorization right in mutual recognition procedure in one of the RMS which you have selected. But in decentralized procedure, it is not the case. In decentralized procedure, you just select one country randomly from Europe and consider that country as RMS. But in mutual recognition procedure, you already have a national license in mutual recognition procedure, which has been converted to MRP. In short, we call it as MRP. So these are the different procedures which are required to place your product into the market in Europe. Okay, this is just, I'm talking about Europe. I've just taken an example of Europe. Different authorities have different things. So this is just in case of Europe. So hope I'm clear with these procedures. Everyone has understood what is centralized, mutual, DCP, MRP. Hello. Hope I'm clear about this. Hello. Okay, let's go further. Now, I have been talking from so long about dossier. What is that dossier? So it's a file. Consider it's a file. You have all the different types of documents in it. Now that is what is our main work as RA professional. Okay. So dossier preparation. What do we actually have in this dossier preparation? This is what is our format in which we prepare our entire dossier. That is CTD. Common technical document. It's a format in which we have to prepare our dossier. Nowadays, previously it was like we used to have a file in which different sections were put, but it was a hard copy, and then we used to give the data in CDs. But nowadays we have different softwares like we have Viva, we have Adam, we have GI, we have Insight for Viewing. There are many softwares which have come up, but the most updated one is Viva Vault, that is also called as Grids, which includes your entire dossier of a particular product. Okay, so what we have is, excuse me, we have what do we have in dossier is module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and module 5. So this entire thing sum up your dossier. That is, first one, let's consider module 1. Now, module 1 is basically related to the regional information. Okay. Now, say, for example, I want to sell a product in Poland. Now, in Poland, there are certain specific documents which you require to give. Okay. It's like, say, for example, some declaration they require letter of access. These are some additional documentation which is required by your Poland. Okay. And in regional information, you also give comes what is called as cover letter, your application form, your any additional data which you want to give, then the present and propose, then your SPCs, your artworks, your labelings, all those things comes under your regional information. Okay. So it's like a cover page to that dossier. Next, what comes is your module 2. So it will include your quality overall summary, where there will be sum up, means the summary of your quality documents, then non-quality documents overview, non-clinical summary, clinical overview, and clinical summary. So most of the time this module 2 comes into picture, like clinical and non-clinical data mostly comes into picture when it is an innovator. Okay, it's a new molecule. And if it is a generic product, only quality documents comes into picture. So you should mostly have the quality documents ready with you, and bioequivalence studies. Okay, that is also required. That is depending on the guidelines. What requirements are there for a particular market? Okay, so depending on then that your module 2 will change. But the compulsory document is your module 3. Now module 3 have different sections. So the entire your BMRs, your batch manufacturing records, or your specifications, your analytical products, all those things, your entire pharmaceutical company data, which is generated by a generic company, that data will come into module 3. Module 4 is basically your non-clinical studies, and module 5 is your clinical studies, all the animal studies. So these module 4, module 5 mostly come into picture only when it's a completely new document. Okay, but when you do new submission, you have to submit the documents as per the requirement of the authority. Okay, so this is a basic format of dossier which we compile and give. Nowadays we give it through different softwares. Okay, so it has those different sections, in which section which document will go, that you will come to know when you will take experience, as in it is all with the experience. Okay, so let's move on to what happens after the once you have the dossier is prepared with you in eCTD format. So what next? So what will happen is we will submit the dossier to the authority. Once I have my dossier ready with me, I will submit it to the authority. The assessment will be done. If I am doing MRP-DCP, assessment will be done by the RMS, comments will be given by CMSs. Okay, then we'll have the required documentation, documents will be submitted, comments will be given by CMSs, final draft will be prepared by RMS, and it will be approved, and product will be marketed. So then what we have is your product is approved. Okay, this is the one part of your work. The second part comes is here, that is post approval. Post approval means once your product is into the market, once you get approval, after that whatever changes takes place in your dossier will go under your post approval. Okay, this will be traced under your post approval studies. So under post approval, what we do actually. Now, what is post approval? See, what happened if I take an example, if I got paracetamol only, if I have got approval to market the product in one of the country in Europe, say Sweden, and I want once it is done, so there is a change in hardness. Okay, say for example, a tablet's hardness is changing. Say from it was previously it was 3 to 4, so now they are making it more stringent as 2 to 3. Now, this is a change which has happened. Now, whenever any minor change occur in your dossier, you have to inform your authority. That is the first and the foremost thing you have to do. Okay, because the problem comes when if you don't tell authority this is a change, and if the authority has the old dossier and they come for inspection, at that time, if they found this discrepancy, then your license can be cancelled. So whatever minor changes, even the editorial changes, small things, you have to tell your authority. Okay, so say I was taking an example of hardness. So what I have to do is whatever changed section is there in the dossier, I have to compile a variation. Okay, and then I have to send it to the authority. I will, once I get the approval, I can implement that change. So let's understand this in detail. So what we have is post approval changes which takes place, we call it as variations. That is, every change in the dossier, we file a variation. So in Europe, we have type 1A and type 1A IN, that is do and tell. Okay, there are minor type 1A changes. It's like there are minor changes. I'm changing a sample preparation. Okay, now that's a minor change in your TP, that is test procedure. So it is type 1A. Now that type 1A, I can implement the change. I will change my specification, TP, test procedure, whatever. I will change that document and I have to inform authority within 12 months. That is within 1 year. I have to inform the authority. So this is in type 1A variation where there is a minor change in preparation of a sample. So I
Hello, madam, your voice is gone. Can you unmute yourself again? Hello, madam. Hello, hello, madam. Your voice has gone. Someone has muted you, I think.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Or can
repeat
you,
again? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, which part you want me to repeat? Can you please tell me?
Just 1 minute before you was
Okay.
muted actually.
Okay, fine. So we were talking about post approval. Have you heard about this? I mean, I have
Yes,
completed this.
yes. Go ahead
Okay.
for next slide.
Yes.
Type 1A.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll go through that. Type 1A change. So what is type 1A change is that change, it is do and then tell. You have to do the change and then you have to tell authority within 12 months. That is the condition for type 1A. Okay. Example of that I had taken is a simple change in a sample preparation. Okay, sample preparation I am changing in test procedure. So that change is a minor change. I will change it. This I have to classify as per the European guidelines. There are special guidelines for it. Huh? I'm just saying with the experience. It's not like I have to decide. I have to decide based on the guidelines. So type 1A change is considered, the sample preparation and all is considered as a minor change. Within 12 months, you have to inform the authority. So I'll make my changes, I'll implement the change, and that test procedure, I will submit it to the authority along with the other documents. There is in post submission activities, there is a procedure how you have to compile your variations also. So with slowly with the experience, you come to know about it. Okay. So from type 1A, so I will then inform authority within 12 months. I have to inform authority about it. If I don't inform, then that type 1A variation will become type 1B. Okay, basically you don't have fees for type 1A. Okay, so mostly the companies, what they try to do is, if it is becoming type 1B, they try to make it type 1A somehow. So before 12 months, they tell you to file the variation. Otherwise, they have to pay the fees to the authority. So type 1A doesn't have any fees to be paid. Okay, you just have to inform the authority. Then once you tell the authority within 12 months, they give you approval within 1 month or 15 days also. Depends on the assessment period. Okay. Then that is your type 1A. Now, what is type 1A ion? Type 1A ion is type 1A immediate. Now, this comes into picture. It is when something is suddenly changing, which is very important. One of the example is marketing authorization holder. Okay. The company who had a right of selling a product in Europe has uh, withdrawn the rights and it has given it to somebody else. Okay, say for example, if Cipla had a marketing authorization, was a marketing authorization holder, and it is giving it to say Indoco, okay, or Intas, any other company. So that time there is a change in marketing authorization holder. In that case, it becomes IN, that is immediate. Immediately you have to inform the authority. Immediately means it is before 14 days you have to inform the authority. So 15 day you cannot wait to file the variation. So on 14th day at least your variation should go and you have to inform the authority. Okay, so those variations which need to be immediately notified to the authority are type 1A IN. Then the next one is type 1B. What is type 1B? Now here in type 1B is like tell, wait, and you do it. Okay. So you have to inform the authority that I am doing this change. I'll wait for you for only for 30 days and it is deemed to be considered as type 1B. Okay. So once it is considered as type 1B, so it becomes a minor variation And that tell, wait, and do. For this, you require prior approval from authority. Okay, so that becomes minor, but still you have to tell the authority, wait for the approval, and once you get the approval, you can do the changes. You cannot do the changes without the approval from the authority. So this type 1B requires fees. Okay, type 2 is a major change. Something which is very important, which is related to the safety, related to the quality of the product, and which is you're changing, you have to tell the authority and you should get approval from authority, and then only you can implement that change. And the last one is urgent safety variation. That is, this is with regards to your safety variation. Safety means you have something like, say, any, okay, medicine like your levothyroxine. It's an medicine which is given for hypothyroidism. Okay. So now that hypothyroidism, if it is causing alopecia, say for example, loss of hair, and it is something which is related to safety of a patient. In that case, if I want to immediately tell the authority within 24 hours, we have to tell the authority this another side effect has occurred and people are complaining about it. So we are going to file urgent safety variations, and then authority gives you approval once you have the entire data related to it. So that is your urgent safety variation. So these are the different types of variations which are there in European market. Okay. So hope you all are clear with this. Anyone, any queries related to this? I'll be taking this in detail once you join the class. So this is just an introduction to you all. So till now, hope you
Yeah,
all understood some part. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Bhupali,
Yeah.
Bhupali, one question. And where can we find these timelines for the type 1 variation and type B bar? Whatever the type of variations are, different type of variations are there, where we can
Yeah.
find the variations? You
Yeah,
know,
there is a guideline for it. So when we'll go in deep in this, no, I will tell you the guidelines also. Everything will be told to you. This is just an introduction. Okay, so we'll go in deep of this. So how the variations are filed, which are the different guidelines you have to refer to compile a variation. All these things we'll do. There is if you want me to tell you now, it is like European guidelines for classification of variations. You can Google it. You'll get it. Okay. So if you want me to explain it to you, then you'll have to join the class and I'll tell you everything in detail about this. So this is just an introduction. So if you want, you can just Google European guidelines for classification of variations. You'll get it. Okay?
thank
Yeah, sure. Then next we have is renewal. Once we have done the post approval, we have the right only for 5 years. Okay, we just have right to sell the product in 5 years. After 5 years, we have to go for renewal. And to file the renewal, you require huge amount of documents to be filed. So you have to start do your renewal at before 9 months. Okay. So before 9 months, you have to start compiling the documents. And by the time it is your renewal, you get the product renewed. So it takes only 5 years. So this is entire life cycle. So you start from the new submission, you have your product marketed at the top, then you go for your post-approval activities. And once the post-approval activities are done, you renew it for 5 years. Once you're done with the 5 years, there are some countries which give you unlimited, lifetime validity for that product. But there are some countries, if there are some safety issues related to the product, they give you another extended 5 years only. Okay. So that depends on the particular country. So this is the entire life cycle of your dossier. So you have new innovator. After that, it becomes generic. After that, you place the product in your market. Then you have post-approval activities. You have variations. You have renewals. After that, last point is your withdrawal. If the particular MAH want to withdraw the product from a particular market, you withdraw the product. So that's the end of the life cycle of a product. So this is entire your regulatory work, how you do it. This is just an example for Europe. There are many more things, like in US, you do so many things. You have Canada, different countries have different pathways to register the product. And this is just an example for Europe. So thank you. Hope you all are just familiar with the what is regulatory affairs. Hope I have simplified it and you all have understood it. If you have any queries, you can ask me questions. And if you want to study more in detail about different markets, you can join the class. I'll prepare you for the interviews as well and how it actually works in the pharmaceutical company. That also I'll tell you. I'll give you guidelines, which guidelines to refer for it. So any questions?
Hello.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I
Hello.
can hear you. Yeah, hello, I can hear
Uh,
you. Hello, go ahead. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
ma'am.
Can yeah,
Myself Ram Kumar.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah. I can hear you. You
Madam,
can
can
go
I
ahead.
hear?
Yeah, yeah, I
Myself
can hear
Ram
you.
Kumar.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm working in Arbinda Pharma
Okay.
in quality assurance.
Okay.
Uh, what is the? I want to change a department in regulatory affairs.
Okay. So what are the requirements you want to know?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. I can hear you. You can go ahead.
Madam, actually, we will work for. Uh, okay. Actually, we will work for a quality control as
Okay.
a analytical QA. I want to
Yes.
shift the regulatory affairs.
Yeah.
Then what is my role in regulatory affairs and which uh, you tell a module regarding module 3. It is
Yeah.
quality related,
Yes, yes, yes.
madam.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
where is I can suitable for that?
Okay. How many years of experience you have now in QA? May I know? Hello?
I actually totally I have 10 years experience, ma'am. 10 years
How
experience.
much? 10 years. Okay, okay. Okay. So it is
10 years.
like, yeah, if you right now you have a quality assurance experience, so your work will be like you're related to analytical, you said. So it will be specifications, analytical procedures and all, right? So you can jump into RA, there is no problem.
No,
But
ma'am.
you want to change the department, you said, right, to regulatory affairs. Hello?
Uh,
Hello? Yeah. You can join RA, there is no problem. The quality
Tell me, madam.
assurance, yeah.
Listening, ma'am.
Yeah, so you can join RA department in you it will help whatever knowledge. I mean, you are working in analytical department, right? So you have the knowledge about specifications and analytical procedure, entire QC
Uh,
related part, right? Change controls do you handle?
I have a very good knowledge regarding.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
So if you're
Change
hand
control,
if you
voice investigations, OT
yes, yes.
investigations.
Yes. So you have the chance, you can change your department to regulatory affairs, and your knowledge will be useful for the RA because we require people like, post-approval activities, those that section it can help you. For R&D people, if you're talking about, then those people can go for new submission. We have two classifications in RA, so you can mostly go for post-approval activities initially when if you're going trying to change the department to RA. Hello?
Okay, madam. If I join the regulatory affairs classes, hello,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you.
hello,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. I can hear
can I
you.
hear, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear
Ma'am,
you.
if I joined, okay, if I
Y-
joined it regular, if I joined a regulatory affairs,
Yeah,
then I don't know regarding regulatory affairs and how to
yeah.
work. Uh, is there any guideline? Means, can you guide it to me how to work?
Yeah, yeah. There is no problem. How to file the variations also I'll be telling you all. How to file the renewals also I'll be telling you all. I'll guide you how the actual regulatory affairs works in pharmaceutical industry for that. In this class, whatever if you attend the classes, I'll definitely
But
tell you
today,
how
you,
it goes.
uh,
Today's I've just given an introduction to RA. How does it
but
actually
actually,
works?
Right.
okay.
It is just an introduction, so we
Bhupali,
have to go
this
in
is
deep. Yeah,
Mahesh. I have
yeah,
one question.
yeah.
If the existing question is finished, can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's more or less similar to what the earlier gentleman asked. So, how the your training is structured? I just would like to know briefly. And do you also provide any placement assistant or kind of thing?
Yes. The placement will be placed to you. You can just contact Madhuri because she will be the placement organizer. Okay,
Okay.
I'll be training you all in everything like entire how it works in different markets, how the regulatory actually works in the pharmaceutical industry, and I'll
Mm.
train you all what are the interview questions, how most of them ask for the interview, what you will be asked based on your experience, how they are going to ask you questions, and I'll be giving you all tests also. So based on that, I'll prepare you all for the interviews. It's a basic idea is you to prepare for your interviews and get into regulatory affairs department. So
Yeah.
if you want, if you ask me, yeah.
Yeah. I just in continuation to with that, just would like
Hmm.
to know like what is the acceptance for by the industry for the people who are not from regulatory background? Like for me,
Hmm.
I have almost 15 years experience in quality, handling all this quality QMS,
Yeah.
audits, then
Mm-hmm.
change management, vendor management, those things. So
Yeah.
if I wanted to move to regulatory, how is it accepted just based on the course or how it is? Means if I try to make a shift, because just because after doing a course, I will not be
Yeah.
accepted or
I'm
what are the chances
understanding.
I'm just trying to say? Because after doing course, if still I'm struggling to get to RA, then for knowledge sake, it's fine for me. But
Yeah.
if I want to make a shift, then how it is? I just would like to know in that
See,
sense.
it's all depend on you, how you answer the interview, because whatever background knowledge you have from QA, I'm also from QA background. So I have QA QC background as well, and then I shifted to RA. So what I would say is you have 15 years of experience in QA. So this is all depending on you how you answer your interview and what the company's requirement is, what they want you from you. So if I hire you, what are the qualities which I require for you as a RA professional? So that all those things depends on your company and it's their policies. So, but the way you should answer the interview, I can help you out how you're going to answer the interview for that particular profession. Okay.
And
So ultimately it depends on the company how it the company wants to grab you as. Since you have QA background, you have good
mhm,
knowledge of change control because basically what we require is we require change controls. All the documents which are handled in QC production, you should have the knowledge of that. So the company can easily hire you.
okay.
Okay, so that is the main requirement we want. Guidelines and all, we can, we refer the guidelines and we do the things. But you
Mm.
should know how, if you want to file a particular variation, how you're going to do it. That particular thing you should have. How, if the question comes from the interviewer, how you're going to file a particular variation, if this is a change. So you should be so quick that, yeah, this documents I require for this particular country, this particular section of the country. So that is how, if you have that knowledge, they will easily grab you. That depends on you how you're going to answer the interview.
And
Okay.
Correct.
Bhupal,
Yeah.
Correct. And
uh,
you see any because now my most of the experience in biologics or vaccines,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uh, you see any like upcoming like huge requirement in biologics, or is it like because after this pandemic most of the companies are shifting to biologics or vaccines? So
Yeah.
is there any increase in requirement of regulatory professionals in those things? So because I have most of the experience in biologics, so in that way I'm asking.
Okay. Yes, of course. Because see, even though now because of the COVID, people are shifting towards the vaccines and all. So you have a huge scope for it. For generics, it is going on. It is just there are many companies which are going on, but something if you're doing something unique, you will get a huge scope in RA. If you have this unique experience, you will be able to get anywhere in any company. Okay, so it's better to have experience of biologics as well because you will get into a section of new submission for vaccines in RA profession. Okay. So, like, normal pharmaceutical company, any generic company, you should have the knowledge about the module 3 sections, like the specifications, everything. But if you do something unique like biologics, if you are doing something in vaccines regulatory affairs, that would be also very good because nowadays we have more scope. Even you can go to abroad. There is more scope if you have this knowledge of this vaccines. So it's a huge market for you. You can go ahead.
Okay. May I know some of the
Gopal,
companies in which you provide assistance for this placements? Like,
That inquiry you will have to ask Madhuri only, because I'm just training you all for this, so she'll be able to tell
sure,
you about it.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. Thanks for your time and answering the questions. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Any other question?
Gopali,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, Gopal. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you between.
No, it's
And
okay. No, it's okay.
yeah, this is Shrikant. I have
Yeah.
overall 8.5 years of experience in a pharmacovigilance domain, which includes the aggregate reporting as well. So we used to do the ICSR case processing. You might have aware of that.
Hmm.
So generally, the thing is the safety concerns, whatever the safety concerns are there, we used to grab it from the RA department
Hmm. Okay.
while preparation of the periodic safety update report, and
Yes. Yes.
after the preparation of this, and generally the submission part is taken care by the regulatory team only. So
Yes.
I have this I have this ICSR case passing as well as aggregate experience. I have been
Oh,
looking for a long time for regulatory affairs domain. So
yeah.
how I have 8.5 years of experience. So how they are going to accept for us in a regulatory affairs department.
Okay. So what we have is basically we have, when you do post submission, no, we have something called as safety variations also. So you can jump into post approval because you have experience of safety. So
Oh,
safety means this is mostly related to the artworks and SPCs, summary of particular
yes, yes,
characteristics of a
yes,
product, right?
yes,
So
yes,
you can jump into RA, there is no problem, or you can jump into new submission as well because you have experience of drug safety in all.
yes,
So yeah. So you can get into post RA. There's no issue. There's no problem. You can apply. See, everything depends on how you answer the interview, how much knowledge you have. The company will look for you. Okay, this is a particular profile. I want to select a person who has all these qualities, who will be able to do it. So RA is like, it's a, if you know other departments well, you know the parts, and you are able to do RA. There is no issue at all. RA is like you should know how to apply the things. Okay, this is a guideline. I want to do this variation. How I'm going to do it? So it's like usually what happens is the other departments know they follow the SOPs. We have the
yes,
habit of following the SOP, like quality assurance department. Okay, this is written in my SOP. I'm going to do that. But in RA, it is not like that. You have to, what you have to do is you should apply your knowledge. You have the knowledge, you just apply it. Okay, how here you have to use your brain. Here there is no SOP which is going to help you. That is what I can say. Okay, so if you, even if you have safety knowledge, if you have quality knowledge, no issue, you can join RA. But provided you should know how I'm going to tackle a particular variation. It initially it will be difficult for you, okay,
yes, yes,
but later on easy, later on with the experience. So RA is all depends on the experience and how you're going to apply your brain. So RA is just basically application of your knowledge, and not like other departments where in production, in QC, in QA, they just follow the SOPs. If you are not interested in following as per the SOP, if you want to apply your brain, if you want to apply your knowledge, you can definitely go to RA. Okay, so RA is
yeah,
all about your knowledge and how you're going to apply it in your profession. That's it. So if you have safety applications, you can obviously go for safety variations and all post approval activities. You can go. There is no problem. See,
okay. And
companies, they
yeah, you
look
can.
for your qualities. If I have this particular profile, if I am a company, I have this particular profile, how that person is going to fit in that profile. Okay, that is what they want. So RA is you don't have big things to study. You don't have to study the guidelines. You have to apply the knowledge. That's it. That's the, in summary, I can say this is the thing for
Yes,
RA.
exactly. So we have complete knowledge on SMPCs and submissions as well as we have idea about the expediting reports as well as SMPC and adverse event reactions, and this part we are pretty much clear about that. And so as a pharmacovigilance professional, where
Hmm.
we can fit in the RA department? That is what my question, exact question is.
Okay, you can go for new submissions. You can go
Okay.
for new submissions in RA. You can go for post-approval activity, but it will be difficult for you to go for new post-approval because you should have knowledge of QA, like QC, production, all those things. So
Yes,
since
yes.
you have drug safety, you can definitely go for new submissions because new submissions is related to your R&D, your safety, all these SPCs, your labelings, different kind of things which are related to safety is mostly related to the new submissions of RA.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you can mostly go for new submissions. You have scope in Bangalore, you can scope it. You have scope in Mumbai, you can go that side. So,
Okay.
okay, so better to go for new submissions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Ma'am,
Hello?
there's one question from Jyoshika.
Yeah,
She has typed it in the chat box. I'll read out to you.
yeah,
She has mentioned that
yeah.
does RA require experienced or M-Pharm people? Like,
No, not actually. It's not like only M-Pharm people can do it, but even MSc can go for it. But only thing, okay, that's what I want to tell you that. See, nowadays what the companies do, they go for M-Pharm people. Their prior preference will be M-Pharm, then if not, then B-Pharm, then MSc. So it's like, ultimately it depends on you. As I told you, how you answer your interview or how good knowledge you have, how can you apply? That's all the company sees. There are big companies where you have MSc people also, BSc people also who is into RA. So it's not like this particular qualified person has to be there, but they most like, big companies, they first they would prefer M-Pharms. Okay, and then they will go for other this qualification. But I would say even MSc can go, BSc can go, but you should have that knowledge and how to apply that knowledge. That is the main thing people are looking for RA. One of my colleague is also there who has experience in R&D for almost 10 years, who has joined new submission RA, and he's doing well. So it's like even BSc people can do that. So there is no restriction as such. You have to be M-Pharm only, but companies refer first preference is given to M-Pharm. That depends on company and person to person. Okay. Hope I have answered your question.
yeah,
Hello?
thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. Bhupali,
Hello.
I have a small concern. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
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 In what, how is link between the IT sector also they're using some regulatory affairs, no?
IT section. I don't have no, I don't think so.
Okay.
IT section, yeah. Wait. IT sections, it is there, but it is mostly related to the softwares which we use.
That
Okay.
software that guidelines are you
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
teach me?
Software, I can, how to handle that software, I can tell you different, but actually don't have the softwares with me to tell you, but I can tell you how it goes. That I can teach you. I have
So even
handled many softwares like that.
some my
Drug
friends are in the
submission.
RA department. They worked in previously
Okay.
in pharma sector only. That now they're shifted into the
Yeah.
like IT sector, Cognizant, Accenture. Yes, they're doing like same job only. I
Okay.
think so, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's
So
the reason
because
only I'm
there
asking.
are, yeah, because there are different this no, I mean different sections. Like IT in this course, we are not going to actually complete IT. It is
Okay.
mostly related to drugs.
Okay.
Okay. So if you, I can just tell you how I can do work in that software. That I can tell you.
Okay.
But actual other things I cannot tell you about IT. Okay. So it
Okay.
is because this is mostly related to drug regulatory affairs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So any further questions anyone have? Let us know. Okay. So Company Connect Consultancy provide, if you wanted to be contact to have a course for the DRS, you can contact on this number, and you can also contact to Madhuri. She may be reach out to you. Okay. Apart from that, The company Connect Consultancy is providing the various courses on the computer system validation, pharmaceutical qualifications, quality control, pharmacovigilance, clinical research, CDMS, medical writing, regulatory affairs, LIMS application, end-to-end details of the LIMS application. And these are the details of other courses as well. Okay, if you wanted to be grow your growth in a DRA, you can go in the pharmaceutical industry, clinical and trial industry, consultancy industry, and various other regulatory industries. The starting package for the fresher is something like 20,000 to 40,000 in India, and you can have enjoy the exposure of a corporate environment. You can enjoy the 5 days working. Okay, these are the relative career growth from bottom to the topmost positions actually, even more than that. And benefit to join our institute is to have access of the stream material till 1 years. Resume preparations will be assistance to you. Placement assistance, mock interview class. 2 batches can be joined with the same fees. Recorded sessions of the class will be available to you on your mail ID or on the particular website. Member chat area will be available to you. You can have a member chat area. You can have chat to the members even. And you ask your questions after the completion of the course. Okay, these are the core details and these are the contact details. You can contact any one of the mobile numbers or the mail address to have register yourselves in the course. So any questions, let us know.
Are you providing training for CSV as well?
Yes, correct. Yeah, computer system validation
Yes.
will provide the training. You can contact on the same number only. Okay.
Acha.
Yeah.
So are you, okay. So we have the live
Yes.
environment.
Live environment in the sense you wanted to be have a hands-on experience on a particular application.
Yes, exactly.
Applications will not be shared it to you, but we can say the CSV is not like only single application. It will be multiple application. You have to be validate the application, various application actually. So
Yes,
single
yes.
application we cannot provide. However, you can join the LIMS class where have a single application details actually. They will
Okay.
share all the details of the application of the LIMS application. CSV is like a oral application. How you going to validate the application that will be discussed in the CSV class. Okay, you can reach out to these number for further details. They will
Okay.
provide the details on that. Yeah.
Okay. Fine.